You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening, welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Akansha Parimu. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 3rd of August. 2 militants killed in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani opposition to challenge Imran Khan with own PM candidate in parliament. Former Afghan spy master launches new political movement. And now for all the details. Security forces gunned down 2 militants in an encounter in Sopore town in India's Jammu and Kashmir province on Friday. Search operations were still underway till the last reports came in.
2 militants were killed by security forces in an encounter in Sopore town of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Friday. The gun battle took place between security forces and terrorists in Drusu village of the town. Search operations were still underway till the last reports came in. This came after 2 terrorists were killed on Thursday in an encounter with security forces in Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir. There has been a spate in the militant attacks in the province this month. Meanwhile, in another incident on Friday, 2 security personnel were injured in a grenade attack by militants in Anantnag district of the province. The area was immediately cordoned off and search operations were launched. India accuses Pakistan of arming and infiltrating militants across the border to spread unrest in the Kashmir Valley. Pakistan denies the allegations.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Friday held a comprehensive discussion with her Kazakhstan counterpart on deepening cooperation in areas like trade, energy and defense and security. Swaraj is on a 3-nation tour to Central Asia as part of India's efforts to boost strategic partnership.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Friday met Kazakhstan's foreign minister in Kazakh capital Astana to enhance political and economic ties between the 2 nations. During delegation-level talks, both the leaders had a comprehensive discussion on deepening cooperation in trade and investment, defense and security, energy, pharma, capacity building and culture. India and Kazakhstan have a strategic partnership and are cooperating in sectors like energy and space. Kazakhstan is also India's largest trading partner in Central Asia.
विदेश मंत्री अब्दुर्रहमानोव और मैंने हमारे बीच रक्षा सहयोग की सुदृढ़ आधारशिला को और अधिक मजबूत करने में भी अपनी रुचि दिखाई है। गत 2 वर्षों में हमारे बीच रक्षा और सुरक्षा के क्षेत्र में सहयोग और ज्यादा सघन हुआ है।
Earlier on Thursday, Swaraj interacted with the Indian community living in the Central Asian country. Swaraj, who is on a 3-nation visit, is also scheduled to travel to Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan as part of India's efforts to boost strategic partnership with the resource-rich Central Asian nations.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's opposition alliance, the All Parties Conference, on Thursday said it will field its own candidate for Prime Minister in the Parliament, challenging former cricket star Imran Khan, whose party won last week's general election. The opposition parties repeated accusations that the July 25th vote was rigged by the powerful military.
Pakistan's 2 former diplomat political parties on Thursday said they would join forces to field their own candidate for Prime Minister in the Parliament, challenging former cricket star Imran Khan, whose party won last week's general elections. The main rival parties repeated accusation that the July 25th vote was rigged by the powerful military and vowed to vote together with several smaller parties against Khan's election as Prime Minister in the Parliament. The PMLN joined with Pakistan's People's Party and several smaller nationalist and religious parties in forming the opposition alliance known as the All Parties Conference.
Decided that the political parties will contest all the candidatures in the parliament. To begin with, the speaker of the parliament candidate would be unitedly, it is decided that will be from Pakistan People's Party. The prime minister candidate will be from Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz, and the deputy speaker would be from MMA.
Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI party, which won 116 of the 272 elected seats in the National Assembly, is believed to have enough coalition partners to win a majority vote to form a government. The alliance with several other smaller parties appears unlikely to derail Khan's election as Prime Minister, but it could leave him with a thin majority that could make enacting his agenda difficult.
News just in. A suicide bombing which occurred inside a mosque in Garday city, the center of Afghanistan's eastern Paktia province, killed at least 20 people and several wounded on Friday afternoon. Those inside the mosque were offering the Friday prayers. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack. Meanwhile, a new political movement was launched by the former chief of National Directorate of Security on Thursday in Afghanistan. The movement aims to facilitate peace, end the ongoing war and involve all Afghans in the peace process.
A new political movement led by former National Directorate of Security or NDS Chief Asadullah Khalid was officially launched in Afghanistan on Thursday. Supporters from around the country converged on the streets on Thursday morning to attend the launch of the movement called Umidi Sabha. Khalid on the launch said the focus of the movement will be on security and peace in Afghanistan. He said the movement will do everything to help end the war in the country and will involve all Afghans in the peace process. During the Taliban's rule, Khalid served with the anti-Taliban resistance in Afghanistan. After the fall of the Taliban regime, he worked with the NDS but shortly afterwards became governor of Ghajni province, a post he held until 2005. Khalid has escaped many assassination attempts by Taliban since then. He was first targeted in 2007 by a Taliban suicide bomber.
In news from Sri Lanka, a massive protest was held by United Opposition supporters in Colombo city against the Sri Lankan government's economic policies. The protest came as the ruling party prepares to celebrate its third year in power.
Thousands of United Opposition protesters marched through Sri Lanka's largest city, Colombo, on Thursday in protest of the government's economic policies as the ruling party prepares to celebrate its third year in power. Chaminda Weerakodi, a former cabinet minister who resigned in order to join the opposition, said they were protesting tax hikes and increased living costs. He also accused the government of selling local resources to foreigners. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa recently formed opposition party, the Sri Lanka People's Front, routed the governing coalition in local elections in February, plunging the government into crisis.
ජීවන බිර වැඩි වෙන්න බදු වැඩි කරලා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අපේ දේශීය සම්පත් ටික විකුණා කාලා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් දූෂණයට මුල් තැන දීලා මේ රට විනාශ කරන මේ ආණ්ඩුව පළව හරින්න ජනතාව එකතු කරන ජනබල වේගයෙන් තමයි අපි එකතු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has faced criticism for failing to deliver on economic growth, which slumped to a 16-year low of 3.1% last year, its worst pace since the recession in 2001. The government is also under pressure as it tries to manage China's expanding infrastructure push in Sri Lanka, located near key shipping lanes in the Indian Ocean. It has raised fears that it could push the tiny country deep into debt.
Moving on to news from Nepal, leader of Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal, Mahendra Raya Yadav, has said the constitution will not be implemented if the government does not amend it, as per the demands of the Madhesis. He made the remarks while speaking in Nepal's parliament.
Mahendra Raya Yadav, one of the members of Presidium in Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal or RJPN, on Thursday said the constitution will not be implemented if the government does not amend it as per their demands. Speaking at the House of Representatives, Yadav asked the government to amend the constitution as soon as possible according to their demand. The main concern of RJPN has always been the rights of Madhesis in Nepal's constitution through its amendment. The party had presented the constitution amendment as its baseline for the participation in the government earlier and show its willingness to come on board if something concrete came from the ruling Nepal Communist Party. Earlier in June, another senior leader of RJPN, Rajendra Mahato, had said his party will not join the government unless the constitution is amended to ensure the rights for Madhes and Madhesi people. Mahato then said the government should come up with a clear view of constitution amendment and cases filed against the protesters of Madhes agitation.
Students in India's southern Chennai city celebrated the Tamil Monsoon Festival of Adi Perukku with great pomp and show. The celebrations included dance, games and cultural display of tradition.
Students of Dr. M.G.R. Janaki Arts and Science College for Women in India's southern Chennai city celebrated on Friday the Hindu festival of Adi Perukku with great pomp and show. The students celebrated by dressing up in traditional attire and singing folk songs and dancing during the auspicious festival. According to the students, the festival is an attempt to hold on to their tradition.
We portrayed various types of South Indian cultures today, such as we had dances, different South Indian dances, and then we even had like a South Indian market called the Sunday. There's like bangle sellers, they had mehendis. It's traditionally people sell jewelry, coconuts and all that, but today we had mehendi and something a bit modern, so it's like a mix of modern and old times.
Since in cities we can nowhere see all these traditions and all, and these days are like modern technologies, everything. So we are going back to our traditional old days and getting all our traditional things back. We'll be having our Natamai and all. That's a great thing to see for new people who haven't seen all these. It will be a new experience.
Games like the celebratory breaking of earthen pots while being blindfolded were also part of the celebrations. The festival is celebrated during the auspicious Tamil month of Adi, spanning July and August.
A vintage steam locomotive is ready to be back on its track after 26 years in India's northern Rewari town. All the parts of the locomotive which are now unavailable in the market are being fabricated by railway workers, making it a mix of skills and sentiment.
A vintage steam locomotive is said to be back on its track after complete refurbishment after a long hiatus of 26 years in India's northern Rewari town, a railway official said on Thursday. The engine has been hauled from western India's Bhusawal where it was being repaired and has been brought to Rewari for restoration. The project is a mix of skills and sentiment. Since its parts are not commercially available in the market, each and every part was fabricated by the workers themselves.
यहाँ इसके ऊपर हम पूरी सर्जरी करेंगे, इसको पूरा जो इसके प्रैक्टिकली हर पार्ट को इसको नया बनाया जाएगा और चूंकि इसका एक भी पार्ट कहीं कमर्शियली अवेलेबल नहीं रहता है, तो आपको ये जान के खुशी होगी कि हमारे इतने स्किल्ड स्टाफ हैं कि ये हर पार्ट के डायमेंशन, उसके शेप, उसकी मेटलर्जी जानते हैं और इसका हर पार्ट खुद अपने हाथों से फैब्रिकेट करें.
The engine will be open for tourists to enjoy in 3 months. The Railway Ministry has preserved 32 steam locos at the National Rail Museum in Indian capital Delhi. 10 steam engines are kept at the Rewari Rail Museum.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. 2 militants killed in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani opposition to challenge Imran Khan with own PM candidate in parliament. Former Afghan spy master launches new political movement. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.